slight bit of foreknowledge, just to avoid a location where I know there's a side quest that I want to do after a certain path. And bam! We're through the mass relay. And I'm just going to look over all these places and see if I can scan anything. That's the planet I want. But I want to look around a little bit and see if there's anything else that I can get. Okay, I can survey that for a gas deposit. And that's it. Well, Therum will be landing. Yes, I will read the descriptions of the planets I land on. Therum is a distant but rich industrial world claimed by the Human Systems Alliance. Its plentiful heavy metals have fueled the recent manufacturing boom on Earth. Core samples rich with the fossils of simple silicon-based organisms indicate Therum was more habitable in the past than it is at present. Perhaps this explains the many Prothean ruins dotting the surface, most of which have been looted by mining corporations who are apparently dicks because they don't care about history artifacts and stuff. Colony founded in the year 2167, population of 34,000, probably mostly corporate people and researchers. Capital Nova Yekaterinburg, and I probably butchered that pronunciation. So if you want to correct me, feel free. Orbital period 6.4 Earth years. Radius 6,724 kilometers. Day length 28.3 Earth hours. Atmospheric pressure 0.68 Earth atmospheres. Surface temperature 59 Celsius. Surface gravity 1.12 G, which I have absolutely no idea what that means. And we're going to land. Let me see. Who do I want to take? I could take Rex and Tally for a balanced squad, but no. I think I'm going to take Caden and Garrus. I would like everyone to meet the Mako, which is likely going to be
Commander,
the bane of my existence for a very long time.
Really strange, like off the damn charts. It looks like it's coming from an underground complex a few clicks away from the drop zone.
And that's where we're going to be going. I won't put a map marker anywhere just yet. Yes, the Mako. It's going to be the bane of our existence for quite some time. I am going to unlock tactical armor by putting my points in there. Okay, an advanced barrier. Unlock medicine. Advanced first aid. And neural shock. Assassination. assault training, medium armor, and advanced shield boost. As well as adrenaline boost. Put some more into decryption, I think. My journal entry is pretty much this. I got one to find the minerals, which I'm probably not going to do, simply because I never bother to remember it. We have a couple of primary codes.
Faster-than-light drives use element... The Norman... The Mako infantry fighting vehicle was designed for the System Alliance's frigates. Though the interior is cramped, an M35 is small enough to be carried in the cargo bay and easily deployed on virtually any world. With its turreted 155mm mass accelerator and coaxially mounted machine gun, the Mako can provide a fire team with weapon support as well as mobility. Since Alliance Marines may be required to fight on any world, the Mako is environmentally sealed and equipped with microthrusters for use on low-gravity planetoids. The Mako is powered by a sealed hydrogen-oxygen fuel cell and includes a small Element Zero core. While not large enough to nullify the vehicle's mass, the core can reduce it enough to be safely airdropped. When used in conjunction with thrusters, it also allows the Mako to extricate itself from difficult terrain.
And we are going to be doing that a lot. So don't be surprised when I have to use the thrusters 2 billion times per mission or something.
Biotics is the ability of rare... An artificial intelligence is a self-aware computing system capable of learning and independent decision-making. Creation of a conscious AI requires adaptive code, a slow, expensive education, and a specialized quantum computer called a blue box. An AI cannot be transmitted across a communication channel or computer network. Without its blue box, an AI is no more than data files. Loading these files into a new blue box will create a new personality, as variations in the quantum hardware and runtime results create unpredictable variations. The Geth serve as a cautionary tale against the dangers of rogue AI, and in Citadel space, they are technically illegal. Advocacy groups argue, however, that an AI is a living, conscious entity, deserving the same rights as organics. They argue that continued use of the term artificial is institutionalized racism on the part of organic life. The term synthetic is considered the politically correct alternative.
So politics is even infiltrating its way into the creation of artificial intelligence. Why am I not surprised?
Omni-tools.
Let me see if there's anything. I'm gonna read a couple of these now, actually, before we end this recording, and we'll get going on Therum next time. The genophage bioweapon was created to end the Krogan rebellions. From the start, the Krogan had overwhelmed the Council. Only timely first contact with the Turians saved the Council races. The Turians fought the Krogan to a standstill, but sheer weight of Krogan numbers indicated the war could not be won through conventional means. The Turians collaborated with the Solarians to genetically engineer a counter to the rapid breeding of the Krogan. The genophage virus gained the energy to replicate by eating key genetic sequences. Every cell in every Krogan had to be altered for the weapon to be foolproof, otherwise the Krogan could have used gene therapy to fix the affected tissues. Once a genophage strain could find no more genes to eat, it would starve and die, limiting spin-off mutation and Solarians believed the genophage would be used as a deterrent, a position the Turians viewed as naive. Once the project was complete, the Turians mass-produced and deployed it. The Krogan homeworld, their colonies, and all occupied worlds were infected. The resulting mutation made only 1 in 1,000 Krogan pregnancies carry to term. It did not reduce fertility, but offspring viability. The rare females able to carry children to term became prizes the Krogan warlords fought brutal battles over. The Krogan are a shadow of their former glory. While the rebellions took place centuries ago, they are constantly reminded of the horror of the genophage and their inability to counter it. The release of the genophage is still controversial, bitterly debated in many circles. And I'm not going to tell you what my opinion of it is here. You'll find that out later. Krogan rebellions. After the Ragni War, the quick-breeding Krogan expanded at the expense of their neighbors. Warlords leveraged their veteran soldiers to seize living space while the Council races were still grateful. Over centuries, the Krogan conquered world after world. There was always just one more needed, which, as it happens, is very reminiscent of Hitler and the Munich Pact. Act as well as all the other stuff he did to violate the Treaty of Versailles, which I'm not going to get into here. But it's very similar. When the Council finally demanded withdrawal from the Asari colony of Lucia, Krogan overlord Kredak stormed off the citadel, daring the Council to take their worlds back. But the Council had taken precautions. The finest STG operators and Asari huntresses had been drafted into a covert operations force, the Office of Special Tactics and Reconnaissance. The Spectres opened the war with crippling strategic strikes. Krogan planets went dark as computer viruses flooded the extranet. Sabotaged antimatter refineries disappeared in blue-white annihilation. Headquarters stations shattered into orbit, clogging debris, rammed by pre-placed suicide freighters. Still, this only delayed the inevitable. The war would have been lost if not for first contact with the Turians, who responded to Krogan threats with a prompt declaration of war. Being on the far side of Krogan space from the Council, the Turians advanced rapidly into the lightly defended Krogan rear areas. The Krogan responded by dropping space stations and asteroids on Turian colonies. 3 worlds were rendered completely uninhabitable. This was precisely the wrong approach to take with the Turians. Each is first and foremost a public servant willing to risk his life to protect his comrades. Rather than increasing public war weariness, Krogan tactics stiffened Turian resolve. And that's also reminiscent of another important society on Eddie during the 20th century. And anyone who knows the first thing about World War II should know exactly who that is. I'm not going to say any more because I'd be copying what someone else has already said, and I'd rather not do that if I can avoid it. The arrival of Turian task forces saved many worlds from the warlords' marauding fleets, but it took development of the genophage bioweapon to end the war. There were decades of unrest afterwards. Rogue warlords and holdout groups of insurgents refused to surrender or disappeared into the frontier systems to become pirates. I'm actually gonna skip parts on the Quarians simply because they're quite long. Alright, and I'm just doing that so they'll stop nagging me. And this just basically says the Alliance hires people to tell them where minerals are, and it pays, and here's what some of them are. Which is why I'm not actually going to do anything in regards to reading that. And so I'm going to actually end this recording here. So this has been DarkPhoenix Ninja 92. And thank you for joining me for Let's Play Mass Effect. And if you enjoyed this, please subscribe, leave a comment down below. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you next time.